This is RPGDad,
RPGNate.
and welcome to our fourth weekend gaming wrap-up. This past weekend, we continued playing our campaign, Kingdom of Ghouls. It's an E4 4E module, 4th edition, and right now our characters all running around level 24, 25. I think everybody leveled to 25 this past week, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a little bit ahead of them because I haven't missed any of the sessions since you're the DM, I drive you, we play, so... there should be a little more staggering as far as leveling up just because of people missing, but it's not working out that way. But anyway, since you're DM, why don't you talk about what happened this weekend?
So you went through the first room, which was the priest's quarters, and there was only one of the flesh glutton corpse eaters because one of them had ran out in the previous encounter because they had heard you.
Oh yeah, when we were killing, what was it? The room full of
guys,
yeah, and where they were. It was where we first went in. We ate, we gambled, we talked, and then we went back and killed him. So he must have joined into that fray. Yeah,
because each round it was having me roll a d20, and on a certain roll, one of them would come in, and I figured, it wouldn't be two flesh gluttons if one had come in.
Yeah. So
they didn't think about that.
Yeah, I guess if there were only two there to come in and they both came and we killed them, then there wouldn't have been any flesh gluttons in that room.
And you wouldn't have had to worry about the Reaper because they wouldn't have been able to call him.
Okay. So, all right, well, that explains why there was only one flesh glutton in there. But, yeah, we got in there. We finished that room pretty quick, didn't we?
Yeah, because the two guys, and then the one guy kept missing, so he was absolutely useless. The Reaper, you got down quite a bit in the first round, like 100 points at least. So he decided to just go through and take the opportunity attacks and make his burst attack and hit everybody in that hallway.
Yeah, I was already out of that hallway.
Yeah.
There's a hallway where you go in, and is that it? And
no, this is the next. That one.
Oh yeah, I let them get in the hall. Our group has a bad habit of bunching up in tight spaces.
Yeah.
And I decided, since I have my shift 5 after I hit, and I'm hitting from 5 away anyway, that if I hit, I was going to back the hell out. And I went out, I backed around the corner, and a couple other people finally caught on and backed around the corner, and it still left like a big bunch of guys in that hallway that kept getting beat on. Plus, the druid had bought what kind of mount?
A
wyvern?
Felled red wyvern, something like that.
And, of course, basically you have this big dragon in the hallway, and that's what kept getting attacked first.
I bloodied it, and,
It was funny because we're blowing heels to keep her purchased mount up.
Well, she spent, half a million gold on it. It was a lot.
So... But yeah, that was a pretty quick encounter. It was fun. I guess the bad thing was that it was just over quick. Plus that mount kept drawing the attacks. So
why is that bad? The mount is more health than any of you.
Does it?
Yeah.
Not if you bloodied it that quick.
It has 200 health.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's if our barbarian was there, he'd have 200 as well. And
that's he's a barbarian.
Our group this week we were missing the barbarian. We had somebody who was supposed to come and play, but they didn't. But that's okay because they would have been our 7th player. This week they would have been our 6th. But then we had our regular cast of characters. We had my Drow thief, the Drow executioner, RPG Gems character. We had the Artificer, which is the healer.
Deva Artificer.
Mm-hmm. We had the Wizard.
I don't know what type of character he is.
And we had the Druid.
I believe she's an elf.
An elf or a dwarf. I'm not sure which one she is.
No, she's a dwarf. Because I heard you guys talking. It was something about a dwarf, and she said...
Yeah, there were the 2 dwarfs because of the barbarian 1 week.
Yeah, a dwarf.
So she's a dwarf druid.
They do make
but she never uses a dwarf mini, so that's why I'm always like, wait a minute. I always use an accurate mini when I'm playing. But some people just have minis they like and they'll play them. But I guess part of that comes from the fact we have so damn many minis, we can put whatever we want out. And we'll have even more when we finish painting that 300 box out there.
They have a lot of minis because, remember, the Wizard's a DM.
Yeah, but I've never seen them bring tons and tons of minis with them. So it's always like the ones that they like.
Yeah, the minis that they like. Which is what even I do. I don't really care. Besides, you can't
see,
really...
I care. I want my character to look like my character. That's why, like, for this thief, I bought that one miniature, I painted it up the way I wanted, and that's my character.
Well, considering I'm a blackguard a lot, I pretty much use one mini, the armored mini, because, armor, he has a helmet, you can't tell what race he is, because he has that helmet, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I have a tendency, it's like I bought that human thief for the one season, but I ended up not putting it together because of the pinning, and when I looked at the bottom of it, and we're digressing and moving away from that, but when I looked at the bottom of it, I want to take the jeweler's saw, cut the feet off, the attachment areas, and then put it on a better base, so I never got it done, but I want to paint that one, and I've got other ones that I want to get painted because of other characters I don't want to play. But that's me. I mean, even RPG Gem, you notice, she likes to paint a character that matches what she's playing at the time.
Yeah.
It was kind of tough when she was playing that. What was she playing? It was the big race.
Yeah. Well,
and we didn't have anything that was big enough for that. But it was kind of funny. But
I'm not going to have much time to paint minis now because I'm thinking about getting started on writing the campaign, which is going to take a lot of time.
Oh, you need to do that and recording and all that stuff. But that's away from this. So we got through that was Encounter E5, the Priest Quarters. Then we went to the next one was E7, which was what? Portal to the White Kingdom. So What happened there?
Well, at first, the Invoker sent one of his ghouls in to call the two guards right here away.
Yeah, he went in.
So there were 2x2 steps, and there were two guards right in front of there. So he sent a ghoul down to say something to them, and he rolled really good on a bluff, and I rolled really crappy on the wisdom. So they ran up, they got ambushed, and they killed them within like a round. So then, because the druid had her critter out, I forget what it's called.
The wyvern.
No, not the wyvern. The summoned critter.
Oh yeah, the
I can't.
The land shark. We'll call it the land shark.
Yeah, it's something, I don't know.
It's big,
but she sent it down the stairs so that the encounter continued because she didn't want to have just summoned it for one round because that would be a waste.
Yeah.
So.
Well, she summoned it when the two guards came, and there was a debate at the table. The guards were part of this encounter.
Yeah.
We just drew them out of the room, so it wasn't a separate encounter. It was fine for her to go ahead and send it, but it kind of bull rushed through, which was good because it tore down those tapestries that blocked the doors. Let's face it, a creature that's a 2x2 creature is not going to cautiously open the tapestries and go through. It's going to go through, and that stuff's going to come and get ripped down.
It's just like start peeking through it. Anybody there?
No, it's not going to do that.
There are people down there. I'm not going through.
So you agreed with that, and that was good. It might have been bad and good at the same time because, yes, it left a line of sight, but it gave our range characters a line of sight as well.
But it also gave their range characters line of sight, and it didn't give your range characters cover.
True, but I decided in this encounter as well to take advantage of the fact I could charge, shift, and get the hell out of the way. So I did, and I think I took one because it was a burst 2, and then I realized, well, for you to get me, I'll just move over here and let everybody else get hit.
Yeah.
My character's really into self-preservation, even though she'll do what she can to eliminate the enemy. She's not going to get killed if she can help it. And most of the time, I swear, I think except for the one hit you got on me this weekend, I took no damage.
You took 50 damage from yourself.
Yeah, that kind of sucked.
I love that. The fateful teleportation power.
Yeah, because I dealt 100 points of damage to the guy, but I took 50 back, and I was like, that sucks. So that was all in the same encounter. That was the only encounter that I really got hit in. Fortunately, I was able to heal up and move on, but I think that's the most damage that I've taken through this module so far.
Because you hit yourself.
Exactly. I don't want to do that again. That hurt.
Yeah, the thing that did that to him was a Deva Fallen Star Servitor. He used that power.
Well, describe the power.
The target swaps positions with a Deva Fallen Star Servitor. It triggered enemies' attacks, deals half damage to the Fallen Star, and the target takes damage equal to half the attack's damage.
So we both took half damage.
Because he had dropped it to 0 hit points, Vile Rebirth also triggered, which caused it to stay at 0 hit points until the start of its next turn, in which it gained 25 back. So you just blew all types of things on it.
Oh, I mean, I hit it. I hit it for the 100. Then I think the next turn I hit it again for like 90 points.
RPGNate wasted her Assassin Strike on it.
Well, we didn't know what the hell was going on. We thought it was just a big guy. But we had plastered it by then, and it was, it's still up. So we're like, use your Assassin Strike and put it down.
Yeah, it had less than 200 hit points.
We didn't know that because we put 400 hit points of damage on the thing.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
I was surprised you put so much damn damage on that in the first round.
Well, I got good rolls on my die, and I just hammered the crap out of it. And that 100-point hit was... it wasn't even a crit. It was just, I rolled awesome on the rolls. But, I'm not going to complain. It worked out well for us. Yeah. We got through the room, and once we had cleared it out, I think we got information from one of the guys. I guess it was that guy, right? Because we wanted to know if there were traps and stuff when we went through the portal. And
Zamshil.
Yeah, we were pretty much, we found out there weren't any traps, there shouldn't be any dudes waiting for us and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And we believed him, so we went ahead and went through the portal and moved on. So that got us to what?
W1 through the White Kingdom. So this was the first encounter in the White Kingdom. So... it was a massive skill challenge. It was 10 successes before 3 failures, and it ended up being like a lot more than that success-wise, because each round I had the entire table roll, and we had 5 people, so 3 had to succeed.
The bad thing is when you're asking for Arcana checks, and if one of our actual Arcana casters would have failed, we would have been screwed.
Yeah. But the 2 Arcana casters got it, and you got it, which was surprising.
I rolled a crit on my Arcana, and no matter what the DC is, I have that feat that says if I roll a crit, it's an automatic success.
But then you're a freaking thief, and you failed the Intimidate check.
Yeah, I know. That's
or no, it was bluff.
I failed.
It was bluff. How do you fail bluff? You're a thief.
Because I've never bumped up my charisma, so I don't have an awesome. I know, I've got to work on the charisma.
Bluff.
But it's too late for that. I can't redo my stats.
You're a thief, though.
I know. Well, I'm a thief.
Thieves
Doesn't
can
mean
bluff.
Doesn't mean I'm charismatic, but I'm a drow. The bluff should have come from that, but, I rolled bad. I couldn't get it. Whatever. And we failed one of them, and what did we end up fighting?
2 ghoul gatherers. They were like big flying thingies.
Yeah, but we got through them pretty quick, too.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I think other than the druid's wyvern, nobody took any damage.
No, I criticaled on Richard, or the
artificer.
Artificer, is it?
Huh?
Invoker or artificer? I don't know.
It's one of them. Artificer, invoker, whatever it is, it's a healer.
It has the knot of heals.
Yeah, you don't have to use a healing surge. That's the best thing about that character is that it's got the 3 heals, and you don't use healing surges. You basically heal for your surge value plus 15 or 18 or something like that, and you're not using a surge. So it's a better healer than having a healer.
Yeah.
So, I like that. It keeps us up, and we're not burning our surges. We're not like, oh God, we're coming to the end of this thing, and we've got no surges left. We can't take a long rest. We're screwed. And we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
But
you guys blew your dailies on that last encounter, though.
I don't have dailies.
Well, didn't you blow any dailies? No, you blew an action point. I don't know what you blew.
I used an action point just because I was pissed. We'll get to that one. Then we got the W2, the Great Hall entrance, and
you talked your way through that.
We did talk our way through that.
This was the only encounter this Sunday that they were able to talk through. Because all the others, I didn't see a chance for them to do that. Because, high alert guards and stuff, they're not going to take that. Same with Ghoul Gatherers. You tried, but it really wasn't going to happen because...
Well, we failed because I think somebody also did something stupid.
Yeah.
So,
RPG Jim, she said Orcus... She made a mistake on what Orcus wielded.
Yeah, Orcus's axe or Orcus's mace, and, it's like, I tried to talk it out of it. I'm like, come on, she's an executioner. It doesn't make her smart.
Yeah, I figured, you're following Orcus. You know exactly what he is wielding.
That's not... Well, I disagree, because look at all the people that follow their religions in real life and don't understand their...
But this is cult.
I know, but there are people that follow cults in real life, and they don't comprehend anything about it other than they follow it. There are people that follow religions, and it's just like what they've been taught.
But you're saying you're high up in the cult.
It doesn't matter. There are people who are high up in the cult that still don't know shit in real life. So, you're right. It was. I would rather we did the combat. She wanted to talk her way through everything, because she's like, I don't want to do the combat. I'm like, we can wipe this room out easy. But, you have to remember, just because somebody's high up in a cult or a religion or this or that, doesn't mean they know everything, or they might not make a mistake. Sometimes they're just dumbasses following what they've been told to follow.
But the Wand of Orcus is a famous artifact.
True, but I'm sure there are plenty of people that still don't know it. I mean, Jesus, look when you watch like Conan O'Brien or The Tonight Show, and they go out on the street and ask, what's the capital of the United States? And 50% of the people are too stupid to know that it's Washington, D.C.
Sorry if you're... Well, actually, no.
If you don't know that, then you're a dumb fuck, and you should probably go step in front of a truck. I'm sorry, but if you live in this country and you don't know what the capital is,
back to D&D.
Go walk in front of a truck.
Back to D&D.
But that's proof. I mean, there's nothing as a citizen of a country that would be more famous than knowing that yes, the Congress, the Senate, everything's in Washington D.C. Right?
Yeah.
So why would it be so odd if there are so many dumb fucks out there that don't know that there might be a dumb fuck that's high up in the Orcus clan that maybe even might think it's a wand or a mace because looks like a big bashing thing. So, think about that. It's not that hard to believe, is it?
I don't know. Anyways,
it's almost impossible for me to believe people don't know the capital of the country they live in, but it happens.
Back to D&D. No more capital country things.
I know, but it's a fair argument, but it's not.
Anyway, so
we got through the Great Hall. That was pretty easy.
What
was the big guy that we had to worry about in that room?
Gibbering Orb Acolyte.
Okay, yeah, we came to the last room, and first you had all those orcs down, and the last couple encounters they have not been minions. I was so pissed when we get into that room because I made sure I used my maneuver. I wanted to get up around. I saw that there was cover from those walls. You made a big deal out of the what the hell was it? The gibbering orb. And
no, I didn't make a big deal.
Oh, you did. You said
the artificer did.
He made a big deal, and you made a big deal to start. You said you might want to call. You've got that summoning stone for the guy. You said you might want to call him. So there was no way when you said that, and I see this room full of guys, that I would have thought it was a room full of minions with a big freaking gibbering orb up there. I thought it was just a room full of death. And so yeah, we summoned the guy. He goes up, he does his double move, he gets ready for his next attack. I use my move that lets me get through all those guys, and then my charge to the guy that's up the steps and on the stand.
And then, boom, crit.
I roll
130 damage.
No, it was 145 damage.
On a minion.
On a 1-point minion. And I was so pissed. But then I'm like, okay, the wizard can do his thing, and he'll clear the room out, and we just have to worry about the orb. And he misses just about everything. He puts like 2 minions down. It's like, oh my god, we're just screwing this room up.
But his standard knock things out, he didn't use that on it.
Yeah.
Know?
But the orb, it was funny because the druid, she's like, I think we can get through. We could get through this room without any help. And honestly, I think we could have gotten through the room without help. The damage that we ended up putting down on the orb, even without your guy, was just immense. Because I think two turns later, I critted on the orb, and
but you would have had the rays going against you, which are evil.
But they all give you saving opportunities.
And if you fail twice, you're dead.
Dead or other stuff. It's not all just dead.
Oh, I like the 6-3 a lot. Anyways. And
the rays that you shoot are random. You've got to roll to figure out what it is.
Well, I rolled. You can choose if you want to. It's chosen from the list below or rolled randomly.
I would roll randomly because, honestly, a DM, yeah, they might be inclined to just randomly flip it around. But some DMs are going to be like, yeah, I want to kill this party. And just use, like, the death ray or whatever the heck it was. That after 2, you're dead. After 2, you're dead. After, I'm going to use these and wipe the party. When you have the option like that, I always think it's the best or the fairest option to roll, unless your die are going to screw us all over too. But that's just random chance. That's not bad DMing.
Yeah.
So I thought you did a good job by making that decision and letting it run random, because I don't think we ever saw the same 2 death rays through the encounter.
I got like mind carving, or no, I didn't get that. I got flesh eating. Bone warping, force hunting, and soul eating.
Yeah.
The soul eating ray was the one where you might die.
But he made it only through like half of the 3rd round. He went down fast.
Yeah.
But it was good. The 2nd round I critted on him, and I put close to 130 points on him there. And then everybody else was hitting him.
And my guy also put a little over 200 damage by action pointing.
Yeah, and I action pointed. After I hit the minion, that's what I wasted my action point on. I went up, I hit, and that hit was for like 95. So over the first 2 rounds, I had put close to 220 on. He had put a couple hundred on, and everybody else started piling on after we got rid of these minions that we didn't need to worry about, which I found out the hard way.
I like that. That was funny.
I didn't like it at all. I would have rather used that crit on him the first round. And then I could have done another charge and gotten another crit, which would have made me very happy. But, that's the way it goes.
Yeah.
But I do think that the druid was right. We could have gotten through that. I think even our RPG Gem, she used her assassin strike on that. She dealt like 80 points on it. So, I mean, we had 500 points between 5 individual attacks that went down on him in 2 rounds.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's huge. No big creature's going to live through that. They're just not. And this guy had, like 850 points?
Yeah.
So, he was already bloodied after 2 rounds, and between everybody else just hammering him. Middle of the 3rd round, he was down. The minions were gone. I mean, if your party's not... I'm going to admit, our party is extremely overpowered. If the barbarian was there, it would have been even worse.
Yeah.
Because he can almost deal what I can deal when he does damage. If I run out of my backstabs, he's still a little under me, but he's closer. But I mean, seriously, when you've got 2 characters dealing mega damage every round, these things don't have a chance if they're hitting.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're very, very overpowered. Then you throw in the land sharks when she's got a couple of those on the board. She's gotten close on single creatures to 100 points of damage when she gets all of her summons going. So, it's really making it tough for you to put up a real fight against us, and it's just going to get worse.
Well, I think the final encounter will actually. Oh my god.
Well, we'll worry about that. How many encounters? So we went through 5 encounters on Sunday. How many do we have left to get this module done? Talk while I'm looking. But we're we're not going to be playing this coming Sunday. We could without the Artificer, but I don't know if it'll be a good idea. But we've already, said to the group we're going to take a week off. But overall, I think everybody's having fun. I'll say that I think our group is over embracing the evil at this point. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
But I'm trying my best to just keep it character specific, not being overly evil. But I think the group is really starting to embrace the evil a little too much. So, you know my stance on evil characters. They don't have to be absolute.
14.
14, so might be able to get it done in 2 to 3 sessions.
Yeah.
But you said that pretty much the rest of these we're going to have to fight our way through.
Depends. Like I said, I didn't say the rest, but like this one, it's impossible because the Gibbering Orb doesn't even speak.
And when we got done with the Gibbering Orb, there was a guy up there. Did you ever figure out what race he was or what he was?
No.
So there's a guy we rescued, and now we kind of have to hurry through. We're not going to get any long rests or anything like that. I guess we'll just have to count on every 2 encounters we'll get our action points back. Which I don't think I've used an action point in the last 4 encounters or so. So I should have an action point anyway next week when I start.
Yeah.
But that's what we're going to have to rely on since even though I think that at this point, except for the Druid and probably the Wizard, the group wouldn't care that much other than the fact we want to get paid.
Yeah.
We have to hurry on through and rescue the rest of these people. So, and again, I think that some evil groups would just be like, "Oh, we don't care. We're going to take a long rest," and that would blow the whole thing. So, what do you have to say?
I don't know. Stop killing my monsters.
That's not going to happen.
I think you guys might be able to talk your way through if you say the right things.
Well, I'm not that worried about talking our way through. If we're going to get more treasure and stuff out of it by killing them, then I'd rather leave a path of destruction behind us because I'm not seeing anything that's really putting up a huge challenge for the group. And to some extent, even though we're having fun with the role playing, we can go in and role play, and I'm probably still going to go batshit crazy on them and kill them anyway. I think what I'm going to use the role playing for to get through the rest of this is for information, if we can get it, and then we'll just wipe the room. But
wow.
But overall, it's been fun. What level are we supposed to be when we get done this?
26.
I think I'm going to be 27 when we get out of this.
I can fix that.
No, you don't need to fix that. Because honestly, my character needs to be 30 when we get to Orcus. We're going to need probably 2 characters that are fully at 30 when we get there to survive the Orcus encounter.
So I see in the final encounter, I get to hand out a level 30 magic item. Now the question is, do I want to give you a Vorpal weapon or not?
Oh, yes, give me a Vorpal weapon.
I'll make it like a Vorpal staff or something. So
make it a Vorpal Eldritch sword.
It doesn't work that way.
I know. But is a Vorpal weapon one of the things?
It's whatever I want. Say no.
You should if you give me a Vorpal weapon, I have to get up close and personal.
But you still shift away like a little wussy.
I would then only be 5 instead of 10 away. But we'll talk about that. A Vorpal weapon would rule, but I think I can just buy a Vorpal weapon.
Depends on if I want to make someplace selling a Vorpal weapon.
I've got the armory. I can make the freaking Vorpal weapon. Anyway, this week was a lot of fun. We fought through everything but the one encounter, and I'll be honest. At the end of the 5 hours, I was tired. We could have gone for another 30 minutes or so, but
you might or might not have been able to make it through that room in 30 minutes, depending on...
Well, we had more than 30 minutes. We leave an hour before the store closes.
Yeah.
So we could have kept playing for the time, but I wanted to get home. RPG Gem wanted to go eat, and I think everybody looked tired. Yeah. So it was time. My limit really is about 5 hours, maybe 5.5. When we played the big thing the weekend before that, was it last week or the week before?
When didn't we play?
I guess it was 2 weeks ago, because last week was the second in the encounter session, wasn't it?
Yes.
So 2 weeks ago, that was grueling, because it got close to 7-8 hours, and I remember as a kid, your age, and when I was playing, we'd play all weekend sometimes. I can't do that anymore. 5-6 hours, I'm done. I want to do something else. I'm tired. I'm worn out. But I love playing. I just don't want to do it more than that amount of time. I don't have the marathons left in me. You could probably do it. I couldn't do it. I know RPG Gem couldn't do it now. Maybe a couple of years from now, when she's a little bit older and really into it, if she really gets into it, then yeah, she'd be able to too. But I don't have those marathon sessions in me.
Yeah.
So, like I said, this weekend we're going to take off. We might do some kind of gaming, but it won't be D&D. If we do something, then next Monday, Tuesday, we're a day late again, but next Monday, Tuesday, we'll put something up. Otherwise, if we don't have that Monday or Tuesday, I might work on something else to put up for the site. I know I've been promising the one vlog, but I keep flip-flopping back and forth on what topic I want to do. And part of it is setting up the area in there, the studio, how I want.
If I've actually gotten started on our GURPS campaign, maybe I'll talk about that a bit.
Okay, yeah, we can talk, or we can just sit down and talk about some RPGs and stuff in general, and other things. And we also, I keep promising that we're going to do like some reviews, so maybe we'll sit down and do a review video as well.
I think the first thing that I want to do when I'm doing that, though, is maybe make some templates up, like class templates, race templates, stuff like that.
Well, I don't think in GURPS you really want templates for the players.
Stuff for...
you might want templates for your NPCs and stuff, but I think you want people to... That's what I see as the beauty of GURPS. You can really make a truly individualized character. Yeah. People talk about how you could individualize stuff like 3.5 and all, but you still have limitations. GURPS, you don't have limitations. Limitations are the point values that you're given, and how semi-crippled or whatever you want to do with disadvantages to really bump yourself up with advantages.
Yeah.
And you can mix and match and make a character that truly can do a lot of different stuff. So I mean, that's what really makes that an attractive system. Now, I know that some people say that it's bogged down with combat rules, but it's like every other game. You can homebrew it and make it simple.
Yeah. And
that's what I would encourage you to do. Now, there's another game that I want to look at as well called Castles and Crusades.
What is that?
It's looks like it's a super simplified combat system. I think they call it the Siege Engine, and I might pick up a copy of the DM guide. It's not actually called a DM guide, but the DM guide and Player's Manual equivalent, so we can take a look at that as well.
Is there magic involved?
I think they've got different classes, and they have like 7 different races. Or 9 different races. I just did a real quick read on it, and it looks interesting. But, the thing that's most interesting to me is always simplified combat. Because I despise when players take 10 minutes per turn individually in combat. And that can happen in some of these games. I really hate extended combat when people are just sitting there, well, I can do this, this, and this. And they're so worried about the rules, so worried about their powers. And it's so convoluted that it just takes forever. I want it to be like, all right, I attack, bam, roll. Next person, I attack, bam, roll. Oh, I do this magic spell, bam, roll. Your 6-second combat round shouldn't take 20, 30 minutes per round. Yeah. Those are broken games when you're doing that. A 6-second combat round should take a couple of minutes at most for a table of 5 people to get through, so that you're done your combat quickly. And I think that's some of the downfall. I mean, it's definitely the downfall of 3.5. It's a downfall of 4.0. is the combat rules, the powers, the feats. That you don't have feats in Castles and Crusades. You don't have any of that bullshit. You just have your characters, you have your attacks, you have your powers. You're done. It's a simplified system. It looks like they took the best of what was like first edition AD&D. They took some of 3.5 and other versions, and they put it together to make it a simplified system. And you know me, I am all about a simplified gaming system. Gaming should be fun. And sure, I'm sure there are people out there that for them, extensive rules and being bogged down with just insane crap is fun, but that's not fun for me. I'm there to play the game, do the rounds, and spend more time role-playing and having fun at the table. Being able to BS with the DM, talk among the characters, do our thing, and actually role-play. So we'll look at it. I'm really interested in GURPS because I think we can do some awesome games with that. And you're not limited at all. It's like Castles and Crusades, yeah, it's a fantasy role-playing game. Dungeons and Dragons, it's a fantasy role-playing game. GURPS, you can do space. I mean, we could be cavemen. We could be in the Bronze Age. We could be in Greek era. We could be in Rome. We could be anywhere. And that's why it's a generic universal role-playing system. You can do anything with it because they have rule sets that allow you to create characters that fit in any of those universes.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think that's awesome. It means you don't have to buy hundreds or thousands of dollars of books to be able to play a separate system in a set in a different time setting. It's all there. If you've got the books, you're done. So, I know game companies hate that because they want to sell big sets of rules, monsters, and stuff like that for different systems. But again, GURPS, I think it's nicer for the players. It's going to be harder for the DM or the game master because you have to come up with everything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's why I've said I want you to sit down, take some time this summer, and start writing out a campaign and detailed backgrounds and be prepared because it is all you.
Yeah, it's going to be a pain in the ass. Well, manage.
You'll do fine. I mean, you do a lot of creative writing and stuff, so you'll be fine.
I have an idea for a campaign, so work on that.
Work on it, type it up, get it done.
Yeah.
Get her done. But anyway, that's it for this week's wrap-up from Kingdom of Ghouls and a little other random talk about role-playing games and stupid people who don't know state capitals or nations' capitals. But, so, do you have anything else you'd like to put in?
I don't think so.
Man, a few words.
Yeah.
So, that's it. Like I said, this coming week we won't be playing, but if we do anything, we'll go ahead and create a podcast or we might do a vlog because I do want to start reviewing some of the games that we have that people might have been thinking about buying and they're like, well, I don't know if I want to buy it or if it's any good. We'll say whether we think it's any good or not. So, we've got a lot of stuff that we want to start adding to this.
Yeah.
So, this is RPG Dad signing off.
RPGNate. Bye.